Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news that is tied to our favorite team in the NFL. That is, of course, the Cleveland Browns. And then we give you our takes along the way. I say ours because it's not just mine, it's your takes that come along in the viewer comment section. Speaking of, thank you to everybody who gets your comments down there in the viewer comment section. Also, thank you to everyone who has liked our previous episodes. Hopefully this one will make the list. And everyone who has subscribed to the channel, we keep climbing our way to 10,000 subscribers. When we get there, we will change the fit for just one day. And everyone, thank you so much to those of you who have become members of the Browns' latest dog pound. Now, on today's show, on the day we traded our second best cornerback, it appears we have a situation that involves our quarterbacks. You may not see one of Pittsburgh's biggest offensive threats on the field much on Sunday. We'll explain. I was curious to see, since Dillon Gabriel has been named QB1, if how it affected our NFL power rankings. So I went and I did a little investigation, and I was actually surprised by what I found. And then down in the viewer comments, Shador saves the day against the Steelers? We'll find out what that's all about as well. But first things first, goodbye, Greg. Greg Newsome traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars late last night. So here's some next-gen stats for you. We basically traded our second best cornerback for the Jacksonville Jaguars' third best cornerback. His name is Tyson Campbell. We sent Newsome and a 6th-round pick to the Jags for Campbell and a 7th-round pick. Newsome, 16 catches for 230 yards allowed on 23 targets. He has a rating of 90. Campbell has given up 21 catches for 314 yards on 39 targets. That's 106.13 rating. Giving up 3 touchdowns. Here's the skinny. Campbell has been playing like the Jaguars' third best cornerback in recent weeks. His run defense was strong, and he came up with key plays in wins versus Houston and San Francisco, but has allowed the second most yards of any cornerback in football this season because he has been beaten downfield multiple times. That's your new cornerback. That's the guy we got. There you go. Third most yards given up. Greg Newsome's gone. So you're like, Dave, why would we do this? Why? What are we doing? Newsome was balling out. He's in a contract year, right? Stop right there. Newsome's balling out, and he's in a contract year, and he's going to want to get paid next year. So we're not paying him. And you can thank Deshaun Watson again for this, because here's the deal. So not only, like, the Jaguars have Travis Hunter, and he's shown over the course of the last couple of weeks that, especially that game the other night against Kansas City, he's going to be just fine playing defense for them. And so they felt like Campbell was expendable. But here's why the Browns targeted Tyson Campbell and his third most yards given up. The second most yards given up of any cornerback in football this season. Here's why they went after him. It's because he's cheap for at least the next couple of years. He signed a 4-year extension last year for $76 million, but the Jaguars have already paid pretty much all of his salary for this year. And then the Browns, they're only on the hook for, and I want to make sure I say this right, they'll be on the hook for just $3 million next year as well. So basically, you're getting a cornerback here that you don't really have to pay diddly squat to for the next couple of years until you can get out from under the Deshaun Watson contract because they were never going to be able to pay Newsome because of Deshaun Watson. Telling you, every move they make, I mean, not Flacco, not so much the Flacco move, but these moves are 100% salary driven. So it bides them some time to get out from under the Watson contract. But Newsome is gone. I mean, he started, he's playing outside when Emerson got hurt. I mean, he was having a good year for us, but now he can go to Jacksonville and try and ball out, and then maybe they'll pay him. I doubt they will. He'll probably end up going somewhere else because they have Hunter, and they actually have some depth at corner, something we've never heard of. So there you go. Greg Newsome off to the Jaguars today. Now, some other things that happened. We had heard from Denzel Ward, said they're preparing for Aaron Rodgers. And he said their goal this week is to not falter at the end of the game. Sounds like a good plan, Denzel. Shelby Harris did not practice. He's the only one. So for once, Jack Conklin is out there to practice. I guess that's progress. So maybe he'll play 2 games in a row, which is almost unheard of in Cleveland. Dillon Gabriel also spoke. Boy, he seemed like, I don't know, he just seemed like he was mad about something. I don't know. It's weird. But he says he understands the Pittsburgh rivalry, and he hopes that he gets to do more this week. Probably going to have to against the Steelers, but that's what he's hoping for. And so Gabriel talks, and, okay, Flacco's gone, right? And Gabriel's QB1, and everybody's like, all right, so Kevin, I guess QB2, that's Shedeur, right? And Kevin's like, no, we'll let the week play out, and then I'll decide. What? What are you talking about? Flacco's gone. Shedeur was 3. He goes up to 2. What? Here's what he said. The quarterback, like just when you think you don't have a situation with your quarterback situation, it's a situation because now you have a situation because Kevin says it is a situation because it wasn't a situation. That's when you traded Flacco, but now it's a situation. So the situation is the situation created by Kevin. Here's what he said. Unbelievable, this guy. When asked about Shedeur, here we go. I have to do what's best for our players, our team. I'm very invested in our quarterback's development. When he was directly asked about Shedeur, will he be the backup quarterback? I'll let the week play out and make a decision later. Why? Why do we do this? I'll tell you why. Knowledge is power. This is it with it. Like we've talked about this before with him. Knowledge is power. And he's going to sit there and say, no. You're not going to tell me who quarterback 2 is. I will tell you, and I will tell you when I'm good and ready. This makes absolutely no sense. What are you going to do? Make Bailey Zappi the backup quarterback, a guy you've already had and who's already played games for us, who has already stunk for us? That's what you're going to do instead of putting a guy in a spot to keep growing him. Even Dillon Gabriel said it. He said, look, you get thrown into the fire. That's the only way. That's really the best way to learn this. And then you just build on it. And I agree with him on that. And so Shedeur's in the same situation. So why? Why do we have to play these games? The knowledge is power games. And so everybody on the planet's like, all right, Shedeur's QB2. The depth chart comes out. He's QB2. All right, Kevin, so this is awesome. So now you got QB1 and you got a QB2. No, we don't. We're going to let the week play out, and then I'll tell you if we have a QB2. Unflippin' real. So just when you thought it was over, it's not over. The situation is a situation once again. Now, something that is also a bit of a situation on Pittsburgh's side is this. Pat Freiermuth, their big-time tight end, you may not see him that much on the field come Sunday. Why? Because you didn't see him much on the field in that game against the Vikings in Dublin. Why? Well, it's because they run a 4-3, Minnesota, and they're big up front. You know who else runs a 4-3 and is big up front? Not my mom, for all you regular show fans. No, the Browns. The Browns run a 4-3, and so he only played 13 snaps against Minnesota. And here's the deal. Here's the difference between a real coach and our coach. A real coach answers the questions honestly and tells you why they do things. And so when Mike Tomlin was asked, what's up with Freiermuth? Why was he only on the field for 13 plays against the Vikings? This is what he didn't say. Oh, we're just trying to be better. We got to get better. We're going to be better. Everybody's got to be better. He didn't say that, including me. Everybody's got to be better, including me. He didn't say that. This is Mike Tomlin. This is what Mike Tomlin said when asked, why was it Freiermuth? Why was he only on the field for 13 plays? He goes, you can't play 4-3 teams with 250-pound tight ends. Freiermuth is 6'5", 254. He said, you can't. There are weight classes in combat sports for a reason. When the people are 300 pounds, you better have somebody out there that looks like that animal. Like Mike Tomlin, I know people will say Harbaugh, but Mike Tomlin he's the best coach in this division, man. Like, I love Tomlin. Like, this is the kind of guy we've needed in Cleveland for years, man. Just a no-nonsense, just tells you like it is, man. There's no BS. And so they'll probably go big. They did this last in this situation with Minnesota, they used one of their offensive linemen, Spencer Anderson, as tackle eligible, 19 plays in that game, and they ran the ball down Minnesota's throat. 99 yards for Kenneth Gainwell and 2 touchdowns. He's their backup. Jaylen Warren will be back this week, so they'll have both of those guys to use. But they also used their backup tight end a lot. His name is Darnell Washington. He's 6'7", 264. So they went big. Tomlin says he says Schwartz knows what he's doing over there. And so he's fully expecting a bunch of different looks. He expects heavy looks like the Browns showed against Baltimore. And you saw what they did to Derrick Henry that game. And so I would fully expect the Steelers to employ a similar type of attack on offense when they try to run the ball. I don't think we're going to see Freiermuth too much on the field, which is good for us because pass-catching tight ends typically hurt us. And so to keep Freiermuth off the field, although it may help them run the ball, that's one of the things that we've always struggled a bit with. So to keep any way we can keep Freiermuth off the field, I will take it. So that is good news for us. Also good news for us is these power rankings. Like usually, like we get these I get these emails, NFL power rankings. You even get them on your fantasy team. Oh, power rankings. See where you're. I don't care. It's like delete. As soon as I get that email, delete. I don't care. But anyway, I'm always trying to come up with little different things to show you guys. And so I said, all right, you know what? Dillon Gabriel, he's now a quarterback one, right? We've got a quarterback now, and we're moving forward. So maybe that affected the power ranking. Let's see what the experts say. And I just looked at the ones who are we all know these names, right? And so I didn't, I'm not going to list them all, but Sports Illustrated ranks us 25. We're up 4 spots with Sports Illustrated. Connor Orr from Sports Illustrated says, why? Because Dillon Gabriel didn't look wobbly in the slightest. Okay, thanks, Sports Illustrated. Pro Football Talk, we're at 25, up 1 spot. Bleacher Report has us at 27. We were 27 last week. ESPN, 26, the same. CBS Sports, 26, down 1 spot. CBS Sports, what do you mean we're down 1 spot? The moment wasn't too big for Gabriel, says CBS Sports in his first NFL start. He said, but they can't keep the handcuffs on too long if they want to win games and find out if he's their long-term guy. And I do agree with that. And so I'll just say this. I thought those power rankings were much more positive than I thought they were going to be. I figured we were going to be down there at 32, 31, 30. I did not think we would crack the 20s, and here we are, 25, 26, 27, and we're up 4 spots with Sports Illustrated. I'm like, all right, maybe they see something we don't, or if they're giving us a little bit of respect. So that was surprising to see and very positive. I don't know. I thought we ranked higher than we do now. Always ranking higher than anybody expects, or the viewer comments. And today we're going to start with my buddy, Lee Arthur Dawkins Jr., 2387 from Mobile, Alabama, who says left-handed QBs should be backed up by a lefty. The blind side and the strong side are different. The Browns are not good at developing or using players as they should. I don't trust the Browns to do anything good or right. Well, you're right, absolutely right about this blindside thing, because I think this is what's playing into our whole quarterback situation that Kevin is creating with whether or not to use Shedeur as QB2, even though he's going to be QB2. Here's the thing. Jack Conklin backed out there at right tackle. You've got Dillon Gabriel's blind side kind of squared away. He's, you can trust Conklin out there to have Gabriel's back. Now, left tackle situation, complete mess. We're in shambles at left tackle again, as usual. I mean, it'd be news if we weren't in shambles at left tackle. So, right-handed quarterback, that's their blind side. So, the only thing I could think, but if Kevin would just say it, it would make things a lot easier. If he would just say, look, we have concerns at left tackle. We're not sure if we want to stick a rookie out there whose blind side is covered by a turnstile. We don't want to do that. Just say it, Kevin. But that has to be what the thinking is, and not just coming out and saying QB2 is Shedeur. To me, there's no reason why. QB2 is Shedeur. I mean, the bottom line, that's it. Because you're not going to go back. Bailey Zappi is not, and Watson is never playing for us again. All they're trying to do is get out from under that contract. That's all they're doing with Watson. He can make all the Uncle Rico videos he wants, Deshaun Watson. You ever seen Napoleon Dynamite? Uncle Rico making with his football? I bet you I could throw this football over the mountain. That's all Deshaun's doing now, is making his Uncle Rico videos and throwing his football around like he's Uncle Rico. Well, Uncle Rico is never playing for the Browns again. And so, but you're right, Lee Arthur. This is a thing, and when you got a left-handed quarterback, you have to have, and if you have a right-handed backup or vice versa, you better have bookend tackles to take care of both of the blind sides. Seawolf 575 says, Grizz, I posted to you once the breakdown per game of the stats between Gabriel and Sanders. Gabriel beat out Sanders on every metric except, I think, interceptions. Gabriel outperformed Sanders on just about every metric, yet you continue to act like Gabriel is just a placeholder until the anointed one can step in. Using the same logic you used about Gabriel in college for so long, if Sanders were that good, he would have been a quarterback one. If he were really that good, he would have been taken in the first round of the draft. He obviously has flaws the coaches see that the media chooses to ignore. Now, Shedeur wasn't in college for 6 years. Shedeur is 6'2". Gabriel has flaws that you can't coach and that you can see. He's small. And he's left-handed. Those are flaws. And you saw how the offense was limited with him in there. I don't think you had those same kind of limits with Shedeur. So that's what we're talking about here, Seawolf. Like it's, and I'm not the only one who says it. Let's look around. Everybody on the planet says that. Like, everybody sees it. Nobody agreed with this pick in the third round, Seawolf. Like, you're not going to convince me otherwise. Now, if Gabriel goes out there against the Steelers in Steeler country and throws for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns and looks like the second coming of Aaron Rodgers in his prime or Drew Brees in his prime, sure. All right, then maybe we start the conversation. But until then, he is a backup quarterback, which is good for us because we have our backup. Our backup spot is covered. Done. Shedeur has the ability to become the franchise quarterback because he has all of those attributes. That is the difference. That's it. You're not going to convince me otherwise, Seawolf. Zucko-matic 8443. Let's get the massage table up, boys, because Watson is coming back. There is no way Watson is coming back. I just told you. He's out there making his Uncle Rico videos, throwing the football over the mountain, but he will never, ever play for them because it is counterproductive to go back to either Zappi or Watson. We've already been down that road. We've been there, done that. It's over. We are not going to go back to a guy who we already know stinks. We're not going to do it. We're stuck. We're moving to the future. That's why we're trading Greg Newsome. We're getting contracts we don't have to pay. This is all about the future now. And here's the other thing, especially with the trade of Greg Newsome. You're telling us like winning is not that important because we're going to trade our second best cornerback for the guy who gives up the second most yards in the entire league at cornerback. So this is not about a talent thing. This is all about a money thing. And so this is not about winning. This is about saving money. Thanks, Deshaun. I'm telling you, Deshaun Watson is it's over, man. It's over. He is never playing for us again. All we're trying to do is get out from under that contract, and we will end. And this is what we teased at the top with nothing but love -J6U, who says, think about this. We still have enough time to make the playoffs, and there's still enough time for us to get to the Super Bowl. I think Shedeur Sanders has announced that he is ready, and all of this hype that's going around is because the Browns are going to make a run for the Super Bowl. Sanders will come into the game early this week, and he'll win the game against the Steelers, and then the clock starts ticking towards the Super Bowl. All right, nothing but love. I got nothing but love for that take. I like what you're thinking. I like where your head is at. Nothing but love. We can only hope that that's what's gonna play out on Sunday afternoon. All right, that's gonna do it for today's show. Boy, oh boy. Like it's like they always say, like in Cleveland, wait 5 minutes and the weather will change. In Cleveland, wait 5 minutes and something will change with the Browns too. It's just, oh boy. So Greg Newsome is off and running. We'll wait to see for Kevin to make his decision on QB2. It's Shedeur, by the way. He's just, knowledge is power. So he won't tell us until he's ready to tell us. Knowledge is power. Such a corporate move. Makes me nuts. All right. Go Browns. We'll see you next time.